Juniors for Oakleigh. Boys and girls, all together.
It's a good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Round 18 NPL men's match between the hosts Oakleigh Cannons and the visiting Melbourne Victory, coming to you live from Jack Edwards Reserve. All thanks to NPL Victoria's YouTube page. My name is Alex Sivkarowski, and joining me in the commentary box this evening is Lockie Avil. Welcome, Lockie.
Thank you, Alex. It's a really fun night for football, isn't it? We've got two teams here who will be looking to make an impact on this lovely Friday night.
It is a huge game for both these sides. As we mentioned, Oakleigh are looking to secure top 4 spot, while Melbourne Victory are trying to avoid their relegation in their first season in Victoria's Premier Football League. The Cannons in 4th place, as we mentioned, 11 wins, 1 draw, 4 losses, 34 points. Didn't play last week, Lockie, as a Melbourne Knights game was cancelled due to the flooding of the pitch. How do you think they will feel with that extra week's break?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's not often as we get into the thick of the winter season that you have the luxury of a little week off to rest your legs. It'll be interesting to see, particularly in the first 10 to 15 minutes, how that affects this Oakleigh team.
Melbourne Victory are coming off a game on Monday night. Unfortunately, went down 3-2 against Avondale after conceding in a very last minute of the game. So they are currently on a 7-game losing streak here. They last won a game was back in round 9 against St Albans Saints 3-2. Long time between drinks.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really crucial that they put a good foot forward here, because 7 losses in a row is obviously a pretty horrible form line to look at it. And crucially, as you mentioned, it's let them fall into the relegation zone. 1 point from safety over St Albans, who, as you say, is the last team they were victorious against. But they're now in the danger zone. If they want to stay in NPL Victoria football next season, they've got to turn it around.
We'll start with the lineups. We'll start with the hosts. In goals, number 1, Nick Feely. Number 2, Brodie Boyce. Number 3, Connor Hampson. Number 4, Jordan Hall. Number 5, Jacob Tratt. Number 9, Alex Salmon. The 10 is the captain, Joe Guest. 14 is Kingsley Sinclair. 15, Campbell Strong. 22, Matthew Dench. And number 47 is Asad Kasumovic. So strong lineup there from Chris Taylor, Lockie.
Yeah, absolutely. No changes from their side. 2 weeks ago, they beat Port Melbourne 4-1. Obviously, you got a lot of people's gold medal favourites. Joe Guest in the heart of attacking midfield, who's one to watch out for sure.
As we see, Melbourne Victory now will stay with the play. Couple of changes from their lineup from the game on Monday night. So Boris Sir Roshton making a few changes to his lineup. Number 2, Linus Burke. Number 4, the goal scorer from last week and captain this evening, Damian Bozanovsky. 10 is Jack Mihailidis. 11, Daniel Lazarevsky. 14, Jordan Hoey. Number 20 is Parker Williams. 22, Patrick Wall. 28 is Charlie Gorevsky. 29, Tabina Obani. 38, Alexander Hurudis, and 40 is Jonathan Sultan, the goalkeeper there. So, interesting choice of lineup there from Melbourne Victory, coach.
Yeah, obviously, the number 4, Damian Bozanovsky, as we see Melbourne Victory. A great ball in behind here. They're moving forward. It's Hoey on the right wing, cross inside, and the shot is in!
Oh!
Well, out of absolutely nowhere, it looked from our vantage point that the ball was sailing over the bar, but Nick Feely watches on in agony as the ball dips over his head and into the net. It's Melbourne victory, 1-0.
Well, it was a perfect start for him. It all started off with Charlie Gorevsky, and in the end, he finished it off. Sorry, that's Alexander Houridis. Apologies there. And unbelievable scenes here as Melbourne victory go up 1-0.
It almost felt like time just stood still as the ball was just looping over the arms of Nick Feely. I don't think any of the Oakleigh team can quite believe what they've just seen.
His first goal in his 6-game career as a 17-year-old. What a way to get your first goal at Oakleigh Cannons. So that'll be one to remember in a lifetime. And the Cannons now on the back foot early. So as we said, that week's break has maybe done them a little bit more harm than good.
Yeah, and obviously one of the things that Melbourne Victory are going to have to deal with being an under-21s team, and obviously with their link to the A-League, is that they have a very large player base and a lot of players coming in and out. And, you know, Houridis is one of these players that hasn't had a lot of opportunity throughout the season just yet. But as you say, just his 7th appearance in NPL Victoria this season, and he started it quite well.
Well, that's one way to start the game off. It was unbelievable there. Like you said, Lockie, thought the ball was going to go over the top, but Nick Feely will look back at that one, and one he'll rather forget very soon, as the youngsters now turning their attention into attackers' boys. And it's a good start here as they look to attack going forward, plays it down the line. This time Feely made sure of that one. So very interesting start here from the young guns in Melbourne victory.
And of course, Alex, you and I, we've seen this script before. It was only 2 weeks ago. We were up at Olympic Village watching St Albans go 2-0 up against Heidelberg, top of the table, 16 in a row, undefeated Heidelberg. And we have the team again in the relegation zone who is leading early in this one.
Well, could their 7-game losing streak end here tonight? They've been close a couple of times. Very unlucky not to get a point last week, and they started off very strong here. As they're going forward again, it's a good run. Another shot, that time it's blocked. There to clean it up is Sinclair. Plays it upfield, finds Salmon. Just got to wrestle the game back in their favour here.
And I just wonder, Alex, after that really brutal loss to Avondale last time out on Monday night for Melbourne Victory, how that has shifted their mindset. As we say, the captain, the inclusion of Damien Bozanovsky scoring twice after coming onto the field in that game.
Especially coming back after injury as well.
Absolutely.
So as we see now, Guest plays it wide here. Dench waits for reinforcements. A lot of numbers back this time. Good grab there by Jonathan Sultan, getting his chance. 3rd game player. So as you mentioned there, Lockie, a lot of victory boys playing less than 10 games here this evening. So that's something maybe Chris Taylor would have noticed and try to attack, as it's a good run here already.
And I think the natural inclinations of Chris Taylor in here will just be business as usual. And I think especially against a squad like Melbourne Victory, they are young. They're playing senior men's football. It's unlikely that they're going to be able to keep a consistent performance for 90 minutes of football. So as you were, of course, we're going to be looking for the partnership of Joe Guest and Alex Salmon. They've been prolific so far this season. And Oakleigh are going to want to get them involved in the game if they want to make it back in this one.
Oakleigh now starting to pick themselves up as Sinclair just has to hold it up a little bit, trying to get out of trouble. They turn it over again now. Victory going forward. Plays it into Jack Mihalidis, one of their key players. Bozanovsky. Very unlucky last week not to get man of the match performance with those 2 beautiful goals from corners as well. That's what you want from your centre back.
Yeah, absolutely. Get up there with a head. As we see, Lazarevsky dropping deep. He's done this a couple of times already. Shoots from distance into the corner of the goal and makes it 2 in an extraordinary first 7 minutes of this clash.
And Daniel Lazarevsky, that is unbelievable. That's his 4th goal for the season, but he had all the time in the world there and slots it away. Nick Feely can't believe it. I don't think the crowd here can't believe it as well. Stunned Oakleigh fans here, shell-shocked. Melbourne Victory up 2-0 within the first 7 minutes.
Well, the Oakleigh fans are stunned. The Oakleigh players are stunned too. We haven't even seen 10 minutes of football. And the team 8 positions below them on the ladder are 2 goals up in the first 15 minutes. We've seen this before.
Can they hold on here for a big upset? I don't think most people would have had Victory even the slightest of chances. But, hey, football is a funny old game as they go forward again now. Huritas.
And you're right to highlight just the space that was allowed for Daniel Lazarevsky dropping deep to pick up the ball. And he was just had space in front of him, allowed the time to shoot. And if you're allowed that space, probably, 25 yards away from goal, if you have the angle, a capable striker is always going to have that opportunity.
Well, he comes from a bloodline of strikers. His father, Nick Lazarevsky, was a phenomenal player. And we know where he gets it from, but this is just extraordinary scenes here at Jack Edwards Reserve. And they're going forward again now. Another chance here. Wall plays it in, Feely. And if you're Nick Feely, you absolutely got the jitters of they've gone up twice and scored 2 goals.
Yeah, and you got to be thinking he hasn't done a lot wrong in those 2 goals, especially the first one looping over. The second was a very well-placed shot into the corner. You've got to be upset at your defence, as we say, for allowing that much room. But if you're placing it into the corner, is a goalkeeper really expected to stop it?
Unbelievable scenes here as Melbourne Victory leading 2-0 in the opening 7 minutes here. But as we said, time and time again, can they hold on to the lead? As we've seen over the past couple of weeks, they're in the game up until the very last minutes. Another ball here, chance. Lazarevsky again, good sliding challenge that time from Hampson. And that was a big, big let off there. That could have been easily 3-0.
I mean, they're cutting through them, aren't they, Alex, so far, this Melbourne Victory side. They're doing well to win the ball in midfield, and they're just breaking at pace, and it's completely opening up Oakleigh in the early stages.
Well, Chris Taylor, a man that doesn't say a lot of words. I'm sure he'll have a lot to say at half-time if this scoreline stays the same or it gets worse. But we know Oakleigh Cannons are a very good side. They'll find their way back into this game. But have Victory learnt their lessons from the past couple of games, do you feel, Lockie?
Well, this is going to be the test. It's going to be a perfect test for them because they have been in a few positions to take points and they've allowed teams back into the game. And as we're going to say, it's going to be a theme of this team. They are young. They're going to have to put a 90-minute performance together, which is difficult for a squad of this complexion.
Referee this evening, Ross Clark, so far hasn't had a lot to do other than blow for the goals. So he was hoping for a good evening tonight, as holding it up his wall, has 3 shirts around him. And there'll be a throw in here from Connor Hampson. Lockley, what do you feel that Oakleigh need to do to get back in this game?
First of all, phase 1 is just to settle, just to calm down. You have to build yourself into the game. And as we see them moving around a little bit here, Hampson, Tratt and Hall just moving the ball around just to get your feet on the ball a little bit and get a foothold in this match. And then you can release the likes of Asad Kasumovic, who unfortunately runs the ball out of play. But you just have to get a little bit of possession on the ball and settle down.
Plenty of time left on the clock here, over 80-odd minutes to go. Melbourne Victory at the moment in the box seat. Can they break their 7-game losing streak? As we said, they last got a win in round 9 against Dinamo, 3-2, as Mihalidis cuts that off. They last got a point, was back in round 10 against Preston. That was a 0-0 draw, so haven't been able to sing the club song for quite a number of weeks. Will it be here this evening as Burke goes back to Bozanovsky?
And you'll see here when Victory get on the ball deep, they're going to move to this 3 at the back. Abani at left back will push up, almost kind of that wing role. Very interesting day for Abani. Obviously, the situation these Melbourne Victory players are in is that the club believes they could have potential to play A-League football. We've seen Casey Boss has just been sold today to Mainz over in the German Bundesliga. He's got to be thinking if he can put in some good performances, maybe he'll get a look in next campaign.
Absolutely. So the future is bright here for Melbourne Victory. If they can somehow stay up this year. Headed away that time from Williams. They go wide to Hampson, who looks to go over the top. The Guest squares it. It's all white shirts. They clear. Wall again. Playing very, very heavily on the right-hand side in opening 15-odd minutes here from Melbourne Victory. Interesting tactics here used by them.
Yeah, and look, this is just so uncharacteristic for Oakleigh. You look at their record; they've only had one draw of the season, but their wins and losses, their only 2 losses going back to round 7 include Heidelberg United and Avondale, the top 2 teams in the competition.
Yep.
All of these teams that have been below them, they've done what they're supposed to do and beat them, and all of a sudden they're finding themselves in a scenario where they're down 2 goals to a team in the relegation zone. This is not a scenario that they are used to.
More interesting, though, is the gap between third. So that's something that they have to keep an eye on. In the game, Heidelberg at half-time there is 1-0 against Dandenong Thunder. Dandenong City Green Gully 0-0, and Port Melbourne Knights has just kicked off. That is 0-0 there. But going back to the standings there, stays away. They're at 34 points. Hume City, 4 points behind. So the gap is slowly being stretched there. Obviously, if Dandenong Thunder can get a result there, they might stretch it a bit further. But it's a big game for Oakleigh. They really need the points here.
They do, and obviously you talk about that gap. That top 4 is important. A little bit of a late whistle is awarded the way of Melbourne Victory, but obviously if you can't get into that top 2 for the week off, you want to be playing at home in that elimination final. And they had a bit of a gap on Hume, but as you say, with the situation they're currently in, you don't want to let that tighten.
So free kick here for Victory. They switch it over to the left-hand side as Wall. Just holding it up here, trying to get around Hampson there. They get a throw.
I think it might have just squeaked out on the byline. Ball comes into the far post. Oh, that was really a chance for 3. Gorevsky at the far post. Almost couldn't believe he'd be afforded so much space. The ball just flying over the top of his head.
Well,
wow.
Nick Feely there was caught again in no man's land. So maybe something Victory can exploit. Headed back. Played down the line. Good defending here from Burke. Still charging forward. Hampson. And it's going to be a free kick. It'll be called back. No advantage there. So and Feely's gone down here. Medic has come out, so maybe he was coming into the game with a bit of an injury there, Lockie.
Yeah, this is a concern. He seems to just be kind of tending at that right hamstring, trying to get a little massage in.
Especially on a cold night.
Yeah.
Real tight, so gives a chance for both coaches maybe to have a few words with their players. Maybe Victory just to settle down now, try to control the game, don't try to give it away. And for Oakleigh, maybe just try wrestle control of the game. Allow Victory no time on the ball.
And I think as much as this is a good opportunity for Chris Taylor just to settle his team down, I don't think Boris Taroshton, from the Melbourne Victory perspective, will mind this either, because you have, as we say, the young team. You want to just allow them to have that breath and say, okay, you've done the hard work. You've got yourselves 2-0 up. Now is the next challenge. You've got to be composed and put in a full 90-minute performance.
So Feely will keep an eye on that one as Lachlan Hart doesn't look like he's ready to come on, so might be just a tactic from Nick Feely just to get some instructions back into the boys. Get him to just calm down. Plenty of time left in this one.
Yeah, it's always hard to know, isn't it? There is some strapping there on that right leg now. We'll have to keep a keen eye out.
Tratt brings it in for Oakleigh. Looks to go down a line. Good first touch there by Salmon. It'll be a throw as Connor Hampson comes over. Flicked on, was looking for Guest, but Victory come away for a late challenge there. So Oakleigh just trying to assert their dominance over this young side. But the stop-start football, that might please Victory more so.
Yeah, as I say, just that opportunity for a little bit of a breather. It did look late. I think it was Joe Guest going in. But also sometimes, and this is a bit of a footballing traditionalist view, but you're a leader of a team that's gone down 2 goals. As you say, you want to impart yourself onto the game of football, and sometimes getting stuck in is a way to do that.
So good to see he's back on his feet, and it's a free kick now. Bozanowski to bring it in. No, Sultan now, so trying to use up as much of the clock as they can. Goes director out. Guest, hot ball at the moment. No one seems to want to get it under control. Falls for Guest. Cleared that time from Burke.
You'll see this more and more in the game as the game goes on as well. But Joe Guest, whenever he's picking the ball up in those kind of advanced midfield areas, you see the way he scans the field. It's always straight up the line, down the middle to Alex Salmon. Can he find him with a ball in behind? That's always his number one go-to.
That partnership working well between them. They have 19 goals for the season, so
productive.
Yeah, Chris Taylor will be looking for all of that experience between the two. As Hall now for a bit of space on the right-hand side. Tratt took a heavy touch there from Tratt. He gets it to Hampson. Turnover again now. Lovely little bit of football here. Charging forward is Heridas. The challenge again, and it's a foul called by Ross Clark. Connor Hampson not happy with the decision, but going to have to respect the referee there. He had a good view of it.
Yep, and look, Heridas again, hasn't he made a really good impact coming into the squad today with the goal, earning his team a set piece in a valuable position as well. It's going to be Mihailidis over the top of it. Good opportunity to test that hamstring of Nick Feely.
Mihailidis now to whip in the ball. Comes in, gets good purchase on that chance. Good save by Feely, the follow-up. It's 3! It's 3! And Victory have put 3 past Oakleigh.
It's a good initial save from Nick Feely, but Linus Burke is there to tap it home. And this extraordinary start to a game of NPL Victoria football continues. 3-0 to Melbourne Victory within 22 minutes. This time, the set piece proving fruitful in the second phase. Nick Feely, again, he did make a good save initially. But Burke, right place, right time, 3-0.
Unbelievable scenes here. Linus Burke scores his first ever goal. The right back. What a way to do it. And I think that week off has not done any wonders for Oakleigh Cannons. They have fallen asleep here. And they are down 3-0 in the opening 25 minutes at their home ground.
Well, it's funny how football works, isn't it, Alex? You get a week off in the middle of the season, your legs feel a little bit fresher, but is your mind switched on to the level it needs to be at?
Bozanovski's gone down. We'll stay with the play. Guess now. Cleared. Bozanovski has not gotten up at all. He is not looking too good. Oakleigh still pushing forward here.
Of course, Oakleigh well within their rights to keep going.
No sympathy at all, but Bozanovski does not look good. And he's back on his feet, but he's limping heavily, trying to get back in position. He heads it away, falls back for Strong. Cross comes in. Headed away again. He's battling hard. You can see it. And it's a free kick going the way of Oakleigh. And Ross Clark just needs to get the game under control.
Yeah, well, it ends in a free kick to Oakleigh. Fair play to Bozanovski, winning 2 headers while clearly having some significant issues with that calf. You can just see off camera here the Melbourne Victory staff on this near side to the left.
It's
a
gone
goal!
in. What has happened here? We were waiting for the free kick to be taken. It's gone in. This is just unbelievable scenes. We can't believe it ourselves. The crowd is just, they don't know what to do, whether to cheer or get frustrated. We're trying to see, and it's number 9, Alex Salmon.
Well, this is potentially the most bewildering start to a game of football I have ever seen in my life. Quick thinking from Alex Salmon. He puts the ball out. The referee, Ross Clark, had never indicated that the whistle needed to be blown for the free kick, and it was quick thinking that results in the goal.
Well, Clark is coming over to the Victory bench and given a yellow card, but you've got to feel for the Victory bench. They're asking the question, have you blown the whistle? No one heard it here. Alex Salmon just quickly taken it. And it's shell-shocking scenes. The goal stands.
Wow. Wow. That's all you can say.
Yeah, exactly. How do you explain this one? Look, I'm sure it'll be a talking point. Bozanovski does not look too good here. He's limping heavily. I think he's going to have to come off. We'll keep an eye on that one, but going forward again is Hurides. Took a heavy touch there, the sliding challenge that time from Hall. Michaelides just took a heavy touch now. Cannons now look to go forward through Guest. Lovely ball out wide to Salmon, but there to clean it up is Williams.
Well, if you had some worries about a Melbourne Victory under-21s team stabilising themselves after going up surprisingly 2-0, how do you manage going up 3 and then conceding a goal like that?
And it's going to be a free kick there, and it looks like Jacob Tratt's going to go into the books. First yellow for the season. But, wow, I'm sure that's going to be a talking point out of the many that we've already had. They had 3 goals and then a free kick was given. Everyone was waiting for the whistle to go. But Alex Salmon had other ideas and took it. Maybe that's the fault of Jonathan Sultan. Probably just should have stayed his goal. Chance now. It's a side netting. You can't take your eyes off this game, can you, Lockie?
No, and that was a spilled ball there from Nick Feely. That is a drop that he shouldn't have allowed. And Lazarevsky just on the left foot. Obviously, the angle was slight, and the natural curve is going to work against you in that situation. But that's an open goal that could have been 4.
Have we seen a crazier start to this game of football? And that's a free kick again. Well, we wanted goals. We got 4 goals. Still got a half of football left to play here. Bozanovski going the long route over the top. Size advantage with Tratt there, but good work there. Wall trying to square it, but went too far. Oakleigh now. One back again. Good work charging forward. They go wide to Huridis. Still going forward out wide now. Wall. Cross comes in. Punched away by Feely. It's brought down by Hoey. Flicked into the box. Oh, that just skims past the post.
I was just watching Nick Feely as the ball kind of went across the face there. I think he is struggling a little bit. I think he just doesn't quite have the power off that right leg. We see he's not taking goal kicks either. I think there is a definite struggle here from the Oakleigh goalkeeper.
Well, that's something that Melbourne Victory need to take advantage of as they send it forward again. It's a release to Hall. Yeah, you can see it. He does not want to go on that right foot.
No. And the question for Chris Taylor is, do you risk a change? They've got Lachlan Hart, the 25-year-old who's played 18 games of NPL football. Where is the breaking point? When do you make that call?
Well, they've got a big game next week. St Albans away. For Melbourne Victory, they face Port Melbourne. So, depending how results go this evening, as Feely now.
No chances.
Head of the way. Brought down. Going forward now is Strong. Salmon linking up play. They can go wide to the right-hand side. Plenty of white shirts. And it's a late call there by Ross Clark.
And they've got to make the most of these Oakleigh. Asad Kasimovic, who's been a dangerous player for them this year. Interesting to see Jonathan Sultan staying fairly glued to his goal line as this free kick is being arranged.
I think he's learnt his lesson from the first goal. So free kick for the Cannons just outside the box here in a real good position. Can they find someone on the end of it?
I think Ross Clark potentially overdoing the point up to the whistle. Yes, this time. We're going to wait.
Chance now for the Cannons. Cross comes in. Oh, it's headed away there by Bozanovsky. It is a corner.
And he seems to have recovered okay. I was surprised that no trainer came on. We obviously had a little bit of a lengthy stoppage, firstly with the free kick and then the goal. But no treatment required, so it appears he's going to walk it off.
Bit of pushing and shoving in the goal square. Salmon in the thick of it.
Yeah, not afraid to get stuck in these situations, Alex Salmon.
Cross comes in. Headed away. Cleared. High ball. Burke flicked on. Mihalaides. Brought down nicely there from Lazarevsky. Had too many blue shirts around him. Guest. Finds Sinclair.
And that's just the note of experience. Lazarevsky trying to do just a little bit too much in midfield. And the very experienced Joe Guest picking his pocket as Oakleigh work it down the left. But it's well cleared by Wall. Oakleigh throw. And here it is. Here's the change for Oakleigh. The goalkeeper substitution will be made. Number 21, Lachlan Hart, 25-year-old, as Nick Feely, unfortunately, has to be withdrawn from this fixture in the first half hour.
That's a big loss for them. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. We've got a big couple of games coming up, especially to the pointy end of the season. And Lachlan Hart now has his chance, as you said, 18 games, 25-year-old. He's going to have to be on his toes this evening. Throw in from Hampson. Gone wide to Boyce. Cut back for Sinclair. Dummies nicely. Whips in a ball. Headed away by Burke. Hampson again now. Trying to get past Wall. And Wall has been a brick wall so far this evening. And it'll be a throw in for Oakleigh.
So, just to catch you up, Alex, 4 goals, looping one over the keeper, free kick that no one was aware was going on, goalkeeper substitution, team in the relegation zone above 4th place in the ladder. That's all for the first half hour.
Yep, as you said, we've still got another 10 odd minutes to play and another half of football, so who knows what's going to be upon us here, but nevertheless, we've got 4 so far. Can victory hold on? That is going to be the question on everyone's mind, and especially on the players, though. They know that's got to be playing on their mind. Can they hold on for that lead? That's one thing that they've sort of let themselves down with. Throw in. And it's a free kick that time. Hampson just having his hands all over Wall.
And again, fresh off that Avondale game, obviously conceding the goal late to lose it from a drawing position. But it's a similar mentality, isn't it? And you want to be able to go these games, hold on to your winning positions and secure a very crucial 3 points.
They go back to Lozanovsky. Trying to play quick football here as it's switched out wide from Gorevsky. He finds Obani. Lozanovsky looks okay now. You can see he's not limping as much. He looks more comfortable as plays it direct in the middle, but it's a turnover as Oakleigh go forward here. Bench. Happy to go back a little bit and concede a bit of ground. Hall. Good spread of the field here from the Cannons. Playing it down the line. And that time, Sultan with an easy grab.
Yeah, and a thumbs up of appreciation from Alex Salmon to Asad Kasimovic on the right wing. It was a good ball, just not quite the timing of the run. But if they want to make things happen here, Oakleigh, those are the kind of balls you want. As we see Bozanovsky going long. The ball's too deep, cleared away by Hall. Falling again, another turnover forced by Melbourne Victory in midfield. And they retreat all the way back to Sultan.
Oh, it's a poor turnover there. Chance for Salmon. It goes wide, but Victory having the numbers. And Strong sees that one go over the line. Just a score update. Melbourne Knights leading 1-0 against Port Melbourne, and Heidelberg are up 2-0 against Dandy Thunder there. So back to this one here. Hampson, poor pass, gets cleared. First touch there for Hart. Guess now trying to get something creative going. Oh, it's a poor turnover now. Victory going forward. They've got the numbers. Can he find the right pass? Shot comes in. Oh, my word. What a goal. That is unbelievable.
And again, just like Lazarevsky early in the game, Gorevsky is afforded way too much room in front of the Oakleigh goal. The shot from range, Lachlan Hart has been in there for a matter of minutes, and already he's conceded a goal as well. Melbourne Victory, 4-1. This is astounding football at Jack Edwards Reserve. And it is a poor turnover as well.
It's a costly turnover there. And Lachlan Hart concedes a goal. More importantly, Oakleigh Cannons are down 4-1. We've only played 37 minutes here.
I don't believe what I'm seeing.
Well, it's going to be hard to pick goal of the evening tonight so far. But I don't think Melbourne Victory care. They just want their 3 points. And you have to kick and scratch and play the dark arts of football. But
Or score another
how do you
four.
describe it? How do you
No, you
describe
can't.
it?
It's there's another chance to Oakleigh, well blocked and fought away. They'll try to go long into Joe Guest, who has found room in the penalty
Offside.
box, but the flag goes up. No, it's beyond analysis, really. I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
I've got to apologise. The cameraman did ask, what were the chances for victory this evening? And I said, second to none. And I've got to eat humble pie, and I will be the first to admit it. I don't think anyone expected his 4-1. It's just pretty much get it near the edge of the 18-yard box and shoot, really. That's the game plan.
I mean, the ball goes in behind it and well cleared there from Hampson. Now, we have seen a pattern now in 2 of those goals. Obviously, Victory breaking forward in midfield. First, it was Lazarevsky, then Gorevsky as well. You just have to close them down. They've scored 2 goals like that. You can't allow them that much space. Really, like it's not too far out the edge of the penalty box. So you have to get more aggressive. You're tracking back. You're trying to hold your line, but it's clearly not working.
Well, Chris Taylor's just going to get the hairdryer out at half-time and absolutely let it go, because Oakleigh Cannons are down 4-1 against a side, as you said. Oh, good challenge there from Wall. I don't know how that was a free kick. Oh, that's a late one there from Dench. Surely that deserves a card.
Well, the play was dead. Tempers are rising. He is going to receive a card.
It was lucky that it was a yellow.
We were kind of shielded from the contact just by some spectators on the front of the line, but the whistle had clearly gone and the play was dead.
Very lucky to get a yellow, I think. That should have been close to a red. It wasn't very necessary at all.
No.
But Ross Clark has calmed things down now. It's a free kick. Thing is now, Victory can't concede here before halftime. They have to go into the break just at this scoreline. Joe Guest now. They need a bit of magic from him.
Well, you mentioned that Chris Taylor is a man of few words. I would love to be a fly on the wall in that change room at halftime.
Absolutely. Guest whips it in. Looking for the back post. They get up high. It's gone wide. It will be a corner.
Yeah, header well one, deflection over the side. Another chance for Oakleigh just in the final 5 minutes of this ridiculous, crazy first half of football.
5 goals, and they're all in the favour of Melbourne Victory, leading 4-1. Guest again. This time it's low, headed away. Got to be careful here, Victory. Lovely ball upfield. It's Hoey. And it's starting to really get off the field here. Sultan's in the thick of it. Looks like Jordan Wall.
Yep. And unfortunately for Melbourne Victory, they were away on a counter-attack. But Ross Clark, he has no choice at this point in the game. We've just seen a couple of yellow cards being brandished. He needs to bring the level a little bit back down again.
Well, it's going to be Joe Guess and Jordan Hall being spoken to, as will Sultan as well.
Yeah, I fancy both captains. Bosanowski just hanging on the sides as well.
That's a yellow card. So I think Jordan Hall goes into the book, and I'm not sure who was a
I think Williams.
Yeah.
I mean, flashpoint after flashpoint. What more do you want?
So to be brought back in as a drop ball. taking his time. Eventually get back underway here as Strong. Oh, it's a turnover again now. Victory stream forward. Played it out wide. Cross comes in. And that'll be a goal kick.
Yeah, unfortunate. Harid, he's been really active, of course, in front of one of the goals, but he's really making a nuisance of himself. Unfortunate with the deflection back there. I was going to say it was a good opportunity just with that little delay for us to catch our breaths, but as soon as the play starts again, Melbourne Victory are breaking forward.
Hart brings it back in. Bozanovsky goes back to Sultan. Trat gives it away. Going forward, Haridis. Oh, Mihalidis gives it away. Salmon. Victory win it back now. Looking to go forward again through Haridis. He's been good. Plays it out wide to Abani. Maybe just took a heavy touch there. And that'll be a throw for Victory on the far side.
And we see Joe Guest working really hard off the ball now. He's caused a couple of turnovers in that advanced midfield area for Oakleigh. They just haven't been able to find the combinations moving forward.
So final 90 seconds of normal time.
Yep.
And it's going to be a free kick for Melbourne Victory.
Yeah, just Boyce, the right back for Oakleigh, hands absolutely all over his direct opponent.
Waiting for the fourth official to put up how many minutes of at a time. We'll see.
How much more do you want?
Looks like it's going to be 3.
I'm surprised that's it, to be honest with you.
So 3 minutes of at a time here. And Jack Edwards reserve. The cross comes in. Oh, punching it away is Hart. Trying to clear it is Kusumovic. Yeah. Flicked on by Salmon. Guess now on the end of it. And it's a free kick for Oakleigh.
Yeah, and I don't think Lazarevski was quite aware of how much time he had on that header. I think he was expecting a keeper all over him as the fourth official raises his board. But the cross goes in for Oakleigh. Header at the far post from Trat, just not quite on target. Well, Alex, there are some games of football where you bring out the coaching board, you draw your triangles, and there are other games where you throw the coaching board out the window.
Oh, I think Chris Taylor's going to be throwing a lot more than just the coaching board. But if there's ever a coach that can get a team back into the game, it will be him. It's now up to Melbourne Victory to control the game. Strong header that time again from Trat, leading by example. Mihalidis, lovely ball over the top, but unfortunately Hoey just couldn't get there in time. Hard again, goes to the left-hand side. Brought down by Hampson. Good chase there from Ward now, going forward now. He's got Lazarevski to his right. Challenge came in. Lazarevski wins it back, but it falls to Guest. Hampson looks for the line. Dench. Hampson again. Composed there by Oakleigh. Going forward, it's a good ball to Salmon now. Has to hold it up, still going forward. Salmon lays it out wide. Kusumovic. Low cross, punched away there from Sultan. Headed back by Strong. Oakleigh really putting the pressure on now. Strong again. Minute and a half left to go. One back by Boyce. Cross comes in from Guest. Tad too long there for Dench.
Yeah, a little bit deep, but that's what Oakleigh need. The sustained pressure in the final third around the Melbourne Victory penalty box. If you can keep the ball high up the field, keep the pressure on this very young Victory side, that is where your opportunities are going to come from. We've seen breaking forward in midfield, those connections haven't quite been there for Oakleigh. But if you can build up that pressure over 3, 4, 5 minutes, that's where you're going to find your opportunities.
Final minute of added time to go here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Yes, you are reading the scoreboard right. You don't need to adjust your eyes. Melbourne Victory leading 4-1. Going forward, Howie. We've still got a Victory player down. Victory, Ross Clark blows the whistle and checks up on him.
Just clutching the head there. I believe it's Haridis who's had a pretty good first half, it must be said. My apologies, I believe it's actually Wall. But of course, knock to the head, play is dead, and there can't be too long left in this first 45, and I think we need a little bit of a break, Alex.
We need to reassess it, just compose ourselves to go over what's happened in the first 45. If we tried to explain it to you, I don't think anyone would believe us.
No, well, the reigning NPL Victoria champions have been stunned. It's as simple as that, really, 4-1. We've seen a couple of nice finishes from the likes of Lazarevsky and Gorevsky. Burke in the right place at the right time off a set piece. Haridi snuck his way in early, and of course don't forget the open goal miss of Lazarevsky as well, who could have made it easily 5 goals. And then the quick thinking from Alex Salmon on the free kick to get one back from Oakleigh. But they're going to need a lot more of that in the second half.
Well, I think this will be the final play before the halftime whistle sounds here. Ross Clark just making sure everyone's on the pitch.
Yeah, a little bit of strapping to the head of Jacob Trapp as Ross Clark does blow the whistle to bring this absolutely bizarre first 45 minutes of this match to a close.
Well, it's been a very entertaining 45 minutes here. If you're a Melbourne Victory fan, you're on the edge of your seats. Can they hold on? A big 45 minutes coming up. If you're Oakleigh Cannons fan, you are hoping that the boys can fire up for the second half. All to play for. We'll be back after the halftime break. Grab yourself and drink and snacks. Plenty of football still left to come. Almost playing it back too. Welcome back to this round 18 NPL men's match between the host Oakleigh Cannons and the visiting Melbourne Victory Youth. Lockie Avil and Alex Sivkorowski bring you all the live action. Lockie, it was a big 45 minutes. You can't adjust your scoreboard. That is the scoreboard. 4-1 to Melbourne Victory Youth team. What a first half of football we've had.
Yeah, astounding, really, the way Melbourne Victory came out of the blocks. 3 goals early, the ingenuity of Alex Salmon, when he was the only one that knew what was going on that quick free kick to get one back for Oakleigh. But the charge from Melbourne Victory continued, and the margin is 3 at half time, and Oakleigh with all to do.
Well, Chris Taylor has rung in the changes. He's made 3 changes in the lineup. Adam Duratovic coming on, Ajak Du, and also Cameron McGill coming off. Is Matthew Dench, Campbell Strong, and Jordan Hall. So he's almost playing a back 3 at the moment. So it looks like it's all-out attack here by Oakleigh Cannons, but they could fall back on their, on their face, because they need 4 goals just to win this game.
Yeah, and the NPL Victoria Tragics will love this. Chris Taylor, not really known for using too many substitutions. 4 before the second half kicks off.
You're exactly right there. I don't think he's made 4 in the last couple of weeks, let alone in a half of football. So, hey, look, stranger things have happened. Will we see, the strange continuing tonight? It's a full moon, we might as well say it. Strong challenge there from McGill, and he's going to go into the cards, and that's a yellow card.
Yep, fair enough. And we have to remember the tension of which this game entered into the sheds with as well. Ross Clark has a bit of a job to do, just making sure we don't quite boil to that level again.
Well, we've got ourselves under wraps. Talk us through it, Lockie. What do Victory need to do in the second half, and what does Oakleigh need to do?
I mean, we were talking about it when they went 1-0 up within the first 3 minutes, but now they find themselves with a 3-goal margin, 4-1, with a half of football to play. It is a young team. They have to be composed, and it's going to be a real test of their resilience and their professionalism to be able to just see out a game of football, which is something they've not done. And obviously 7 losses in a row is a really, really long streak, and they have to be disciplined if they want to keep that going. Break that streak tonight.
Well, in the grand scheme of things as well, they are in that bottom 3, so that means relegation battle, but they are playing, obviously some good football now. Another game, Port Melbourne, Melbourne Knights, that's 1-1. So this is a big 3 points here for Melbourne Victory, if they can get across the line.
Absolutely. And we see just a little bit of changing as well. Duratovic has come onto that right wing that is usually manned by Asad Kasumovic. He's moved over to the left. Maybe just a little bit of difference of matchup as we see here. Duratovic on the right wing. Back to McGill. Finds a threaded ball through. I fancy Alex Salmon was probably offside, but well cleared away by the Victory.
Interesting to note, Adam Duratovic, no goals this season, so can he break that deadlock tonight?
Yeah, 15 games so far. This is 16th appearance of the season. For a player like him, you wouldn't have wanted to go this long for sure without finding the back of the net.
So will he find a goal here, as Oakleigh Cannons desperately needing a goal as they send it forward? Got to be careful here as Tratt not to get mixed up. He goes back to Hart, who had to come on for Nick Feely.
I think the first couple of minutes might have been a little bit deceiving just on the Oakleigh front. It appears they are keeping with that 4, but crucially, I think the midfield pair, obviously we had Strong and Sinclair in defensive midfield. I think we're seeing that turn into 2 attacking midfielders and just that 1 in that pivot role. So trying to get a few more numbers forward of the ball, and obviously you got to go for it with 3 goals as the margin.
Well, McGill now sliding it through. It's a good ball. Duratovic, good defending there by Albani. It is a corner here for Oakleigh Cannons.
Yeah, bright start already. And I think crucially as well, where they're playing those 2 midfielders higher up the ball, that was actually kind of the area where Victory are winning these turnovers. So more numbers in that area of the field as the cross comes in and cleared away by Bozanovsky, who still appears to have a slight hobble on that calf, just as of note. But yeah, definitely a brighter start from Oakleigh out of the sheds.
Boyce out wide to Guest. Looking for the lovely ball there. Juratovic is onside. Thinks one over the top. Easy one there for Sultan.
But again, encouraging. Those link up, those runs in behind, they're already looking more productive than they were in the whole first half.
Juratovic been busy in the opening minutes here in the second half. They launch a ball forward. Boyce allows it to run through. Tratt bandaged up. They go back to Hart. 40 minutes left here. It'll be the longest 40 minutes for the Victory players. Going forward, McGilp goes wide again. Overlapping run here from Boyce. Cross comes in, gets it back again, slides it through. Although lining up there on the edge of the box that time, Salmon couldn't find the player. Poorly turnover there as McGilp cleans up.
Yeah, a crucial interception there. I believe it was Mahalides just getting the foot in. There's Oakleigh, relentless, a little tug of the shirt. It will be blown. A free kick for Oakleigh, just on this left side. And this is what we're talking about, Alex. Just towards the end of that first half, they started assuming a lot more possession around the edges of the Melbourne Victory box, and they've come out on the same note.
You know the game, Heidelberg take that one out 2-0. That game's finished. Dandy City, Green Gully 0-0. Port Melbourne Knights 1-1. So back to this one here. It's a free kick for the Cannons. Cross into the box, headed away. Here's another corner. That was inches wide. They're getting closer and closer, Lockie.
They are. I fancy it was potentially Juratovic just at that near post. Again, a quick set piece from Oakleigh as Joe Guest creates a little bit of space on the left foot. It is in! Again, Melbourne Victory caught sleeping in a set piece. Oakleigh taking advantage. Bozanovsky is not impressed by the space allowed for Joe Guest to cut inside on his left foot. And the slight deflection off the Victory skipper is enough to take it into the back of the net. And they get one back, Oakleigh.
Well, they desperately needed the goal. And who other than Joe Guest? Well, that's his 13th for the season. And that's going to start to creep a little bit of doubt into the Victory players. They need to hold on here. Just forget about what's happened.
Cometh the moment, cometh the man. You need someone in your team to step up, and who better than your captain, who's having an exceptional season so far. It's his 13th goal of the campaign in 17 appearances. That's quite the goal-scoring record for the Oakleigh captain. And crucially, could it be a jump start here to get them back in this match?
62 goals in his NPL Victoria career. So, player knows how to score. It's going to be him as the Victory now go forward. It's a lovely touch. Go out wide now. Chance for Victory. Can they respond? Shot comes in. It's plenty of shirts. Another shot. That was wide. Again. Well, it's end-to-end action here. You can't take your eyes off the football, but that was a hard-in-the-mouth stuff for Oakleigh players.
Yeah, and that's more of the Melbourne Victory that we saw in the first half. Arides causing himself a nuisance, and Lazarevsky just trying to create a little bit of space for him to get a shot away. They've scored goals in this game, and there's reasons why. And as much as Oakleigh need to push forward and continue this dominance that they've had in the first 10 minutes of the second half, they still have to be wary of the Victory threat.
Starting to get more involved. McGilp now trying to play a through ball. Lovely ball out wide. Kasumovic now squares. They're looking for the back post. Good work there from Abani. Had to be first to the ball. It is a corner. And you just sense the pendulum has swung now in Oakleigh's favour.
And again, about 5 or 6 Victory hands go up straight away as the corner is awarded. Make sure you are aware of your surroundings. Cross comes in low. It's bouncing around, cleared away. It's at the edge of the box for Doe. Never got a good connection. Bouncing around. Recovered by McGilp. Wide to Kasumovic, who didn't know much about it as it hit off his back. And the shot by Hampson is dragged wide. Goal kick.
Oh, Oakleigh now really piling on the pressure. They're looking for a third here. You feel like if they get that third, it's pretty much like a steamroll the Victory boys, but they just need to hold them at bay now. Keep playing the game.
I feel like it's been a clear instruction from Chris Taylor as well to get the runners in moving quickly. You saw Alex Salmon, who was just dropping deep, as he has picked up the ball again on the edge of the box and delivers the ball out wide for Duradovic. It's a good save. But that ability, Alex Salmon was dropping deep. He didn't even have to look up and see the run of Asad Kasumovic in behind the left wing. Play the ball into the space. You know you're going to have runners there.
So Cannons now really upping the tempo now. Cross comes in. Punched away by Sultan. Not cleared convincingly. McGilp. And it will be a goal kick.
And this is a big second half for the Victory goalkeeper as well, Jonathan Sultan. There were some probably question marks, and fairly so. Last weekend, obviously, the brutal blow laid on to Avondale to drop that position and lose that game. They're in another one here where they need to be holding on, and he's going to be a big part of that effort.
Oh, flicked on now. Chance for Victory. Forceful Lazarevsky now. Squares it. Shot comes in, and that's wide again. Just not able to get it on target that time.
And we see Doe just having a little word to the referee, Ross Clark. He feels he was pushed off the ball a little bit there. For me, just a duel lost. And he allowed a little bit of space in behind for Lazarevsky to run into. That threat is always going to be there.
Flicked on by Salmon. Tratt heads it backwards. Playing head-to-head there as Hampson. Oh, Tratt. They go back to Hart. Duratovic has been good since coming on. Good work for Abani. Gives it away back to McGill. It's also been quite good since coming on. Tratt now with a bit of space on the left-hand side. Poor ball there from Tratt. He knows it too. Hampson was waiting for it. Almost an hour played here. It's 4-2 in the way of Melbourne Victory. Half an hour left plus stoppage time. With some very nervous Victory fans. They go wide again to Boyce. Cross comes in. It's a good one. Punched away by Sultan. Cleared. Brought down nicely there by Sinclair. He wins it back. Hampson. Cuts back in. Looking for Kasumovic. And it's gone out. You just feel like Sultan there needed to grab that ball rather than punching it away. I think maybe inexperienced young keeper. Maybe something to the Victory coach, maybe to let them know, look, grab it every chance you get. Yeah. Back yourself in.
I was going to make that exact same point. You're spot on, Alex. He had more time. And again, this is the idea of having a young squad. And they're going to be a little bit unpredictable at times. And as a team, they've just got to calm each other down. And you're spot on. That's a moment where, as your goalkeeper, you've got to take command of your box. And you've got to be able to catch those balls because then your defence are going to back you in those kind of big situations.
That's probably the one thing that Victory keepers haven't had is that that confidence to get the ball in the air. And that grows over time as Hampson now plays it to Kasumovic. Uses his body well. One back by Victory now, but they need some numbers behind the ball. It's a good turn here. Lovely ball over the top to Hoey. Good defensive work there by the Cannons as Hampson clears. Ooh. And it's going to go in the way of Oakleigh.
And you mentioned, Alex, the introduction of Cam McGilp. You can see him just kind of hovering over the ball. He's going to have a very crucial role to play because at times he's often been asked to be that one defensive midfielder in the hole. They've kind of settled back into this two in midfield in the last 5 minutes or so. But he's all the time he's looking for those midfield transfers. Find him in the middle of the pitch and distribute down the other side. As we see Joe Guest scrapping, finds the ball on the inside. Well worked by Boyce. The cross comes in. Cleared away well by Bozanovsky, but Hampson is there to recover. Wins his one-on-one, cuts inside, the left foot winds up. Strong palm away, but the ball's not dead. And out for a corner. Well worked by Oakleigh.
Good save there by Sultan. It was coming in thick and fast. It's another corner here for the Cannons. They have to absorb the pressure now. Victory. Clear their lines. Make sure Oakleigh player doesn't get on the end of it. The cross comes in near post. Oh, and that'll be a goal kick, so they survive.
So we've got half an hour left in this match, and by the way that Oakleigh have come out, they've scored a goal, they've done the first part, and there is a feeling that they know they should be pushing and have the ability to get back in this match.
And we've seen a lot of times team have that possession, and Sultan's going to get a card here for time wasting.
Well, that did appear like he wasn't afforded too much time. The ball was rolled back to him. Maybe a little bit of a leisurely stroll, throwing the ball over.
But going forward now. Good run here. Squares it. Touch, Gims. That's a good. It's in. It's in. And that's the 5th. This is unbelievable scenes here.
Well, just as Oakleigh came out and stamped their foot on the first 15 minutes in the second half, Melbourne Victory, true to form for what they've been at the start of this game. They come in at the moments where they're not expected to, and all of a sudden the 3-goal margin is restored.
So Jordan Hoey has been credited with the goal. That's his 4th for the season. And really, again, it came out of nothing. They just hustled harder than Oakleigh Cannons. Oakleigh worked so hard to get back in the game, but Victory just, that's got to hurt. After he had a lot of possession, and it took the words out of my mouth, I was going to say it. A team that has a lot of possession and doesn't score, usually the team that goes up the other end scores, and they've done that. So, that's a strong challenge there. And Boyce now, he gets a yellow card. You could just hear that one there.
Yeah, big thud. You know what else we can hear is about a dozen Victory fans behind the goal that their team is attacking, making significantly more noise than the rest of this home Oakleigh crowd. You just feel with that goal there, as much as Oakleigh come out with the first 15 minutes and really established their authority on this game, to have a goal against the run of play like that, I don't know, it must be hard to keep your heads up.
Well, they've got just under 30 minutes to go here. They need 3 goals. I don't think anyone would have predicted this scoreline.
No.
Maybe they predicted it to be Oakleigh's favour, but not the Victory leading 5-2. This will be one of the big talking points.
Well, if Oakleigh are going to come back in this match, they're going to have to do something they've never done before this campaign, which is score 5 goals. Their last win 2 weeks ago against Port Melbourne, the 4-1 victory, was the first time they'd scored 4 in a match of NPL football this season. And they're going to have to go one better. So the odds are against them. But as we know, Alex, this is the championship team from the previous season. They have the quality, but they have to keep pushing. As we see them moving forward now, the ball comes in, allowed to bounce. It's controlled well by Kasumovic. Sets it up for Salmon, who just doesn't quite connect on the ball. And it will be a Melbourne Victory goal kick, just on that yellow card that was awarded before the 5th Melbourne Victory goal to Sultan. We did get a little bit look at the replay. He did throw the ball across to his centre-back to take and wait an appropriate amount of time before waving him up. So potentially some time-wasting tactics, of course. Probably a fair enough yellow card.
Boys to bring it in, a wasted position there. Williams goes back to Sultan. One back that time by Sinclair. Offside flag is raised. They're just going to have to be patient. Just no need to rush. And Dandenong City, Oakleigh Cannon, Green Gully, that is 0-0. So not the result Green Gully wanted. That's back-to-back draws for them.
Doe away with a header.
Obani now to bring it in. Strangely enough, chance now. Oh, good work there from Tratt. Boyce clears upfield. Obani. Duratovic. Good challenge that time by Burke. They go wide. It's Guest. Low cross. Oh, Barney's made a meal of it. Oh, that was hard in the mouth stuff there. That's the type of mistakes they can't afford to have.
And they're those moments we're talking about, Melbourne Victory. They're going to give you those little opportunities and you've got to take them. But 3 goals, if you can't take moments like that, especially we're getting into that crunch time now, 25 minutes to go in regular time. Of course, the message, I'm sure, throughout the first half was calm down and play your football. But we're not in calm down territory anymore. It's get the ball forward and try to score goals. And unfortunately, that's what this situation has been reduced to for Oakleigh.
No subs yet for Melbourne Victory. You would think with a couple of the centre-backs on the yellow cards, maybe it's a good time to, get a player fresh on the legs, see out the game. So Boris Shirostan holding his cards closely to his chest.
And of course, if you're Chris Taylor, you've got limited options. You got 3 of your defensive line on yellow cards as well, but only 1 substitute left to use. So hands are pretty tired.
19-year-old Roy McGregory. It's going to be a free kick there. So this is where they've just got to milk up the time here. Take as much time off the clock as they can.
And they're going to claim, or at least put on the pretense that this is going to be a long set piece towards goal. I'm actually surprised about the numbers that they're sending forward for it. We can see Bozanovsky there on the far side looking to make his run late.
Hart is just on the penalty spot there. You think he might have a chance. Mihailidis just forced to bring it back a little bit. So whether he knew that or whether the dark arts is upon us, but either way, taking precious seconds off the clock. It's Mihailidis to bring it in. Goes direct route into the box. Headed away. Bounce off the ball there, but gets back on his feet. A little dink over the top. Howie just can't keep it in. Oh, he has kept it in, but Oakleigh come away for it. Boyce. Oh, it's played back to Juratovic. I don't think he was expecting it, so poor turnover.
I'm befuddled by that set piece. You're leaving 3 defenders back, which is probably the right thing to do, but you're sending forward Bozanovsky to the far post, and you're just kind of sending it in flat and near. I'm not sure what that really produces at this point in time.
Yeah, you're right there. Probably should have gone the back post route. As Oakleigh now, that's going to be a free kick for handball. So Hart to bring it back into play. Go straight down the middle of the ground. McGill goes wide to Hampson. Finds Guest. Good running by Hampson. And he sent that one into the car park.
Yeah, a tired and frustrated cross from Hampson. The advertising boards on the far side copped the brunt of the anger as well. It's just not clicking for them.
Sultan to bring it back into play.
It must be said, it feels like the energy, all the energy that Oakleigh had created at the start of the second half, that 5th victory goal has just sucked the life right out of it.
Yeah, I think they worked so hard to get back into the game with that second goal that they couldn't afford to concede, and you're right, like it just feels like the energy has been taken out of the game now. Tratt going wide to Hampson. Guess dropping real deep, trying to get something going in the middle, but it's won back by Victory. Lazarevsky. Oh, it's a poor ball there as it goes straight to Boyce.
And Alex, we were talking off air during half-time about what the Melbourne Victory approach should be, and the conclusion we came to was just more of the same. And this is what they're doing. It's not as effective as the first half, obviously, but breaking forward at speed as Oakleigh look to do the same. That's a late challenge, breaking down a situation. It did look to make some contact with the ball, but I fancy contact with the attacker came first. And he's going to pick up a yellow card for his troubles. Is Wall for Melbourne Victory. Joe Guest quick to recover the ball and deliver it to its correct position. They want to get on with this, Oakleigh, but they have to be efficient as well as they ready another change. But first it's Joe Guest with the ball in. Cleared away well. The shot from McGilt was ambitious at best, and Victory clear away. And it appears as if Noah Holmes, the number 6 for Oakleigh, is the change that is being prepared. It will be the final one for Chris Taylor's side as they look to try and recover in the last 20 minutes of this game. It's McGilt. Back out wide. Boyce into Duradovic, calls for a 1v1, take on your man. The ball comes in at the near post. Salmon gets a touch and deflected away for an Oakleigh corner.
So, Chris Taylor, I don't think he's ever cleared out his bench. There is a first for everything. It is a corner here for Melbourne Victory. Oakleigh Cannons. Comes in, into the hot spot. A swing and a miss there from Tratt. Oh, almost got through. And again, it's that, just needed that composure in the back line there to just clear it. Almost taking each other out there.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again for Jacob Tratt. He connects on the second attempt, but it wins nothing more than another Oakleigh corner, which is whipped in. Dealt with only halfly by the Victory defence. They've had to retreat. Oh, the shot comes in and straight into the guts of Duradovic, who wasn't where he needed to be. But
So
there are persistent claims for something.
They're saying it's coming off a Victory player, but hard to tell from this angle here. And it's another free kick given away. And that might force the change on now. So Noah Holmes patiently waiting for the last 5 minutes to get onto the pitch, but still not able to make the change.
Yeah, every time the ball goes down, we can see the Oakleigh assistant just gazing his eyes back down to Chris Taylor on the bench and saying, now? Just saying, no, set piece.
Corner comes in, headed away. Victory now. They need to get numbers behind the ball. Just got to go forward now. Keep running from Hoey. Still going. Goes out wide. A chance here. Cuts back. Good, solid defending that time by Kingsley Sinclair. And here's a corner.
Yeah, and crucially, we saw the mistake they made in that first half, allowing Victory runners to streak down the middle of the midfield with too much space ahead of them, and they didn't make that mistake again. So they have corrected that. But as we eke towards the end of this game, look, clearly that 5th goal, it feels like it's a little bit too late.
So corner here for Victory. Play it short. Hart comes out. I'm not sure if that was intended to what they wanted to do, but they've got to get back into defence now. Asad Kasumovic now. Looking to cut back in. Dinks one over the top. It's cleared away. Victory have the numbers. Strong header that time from Sinclair. Lazarevsky. Oh, taken out that time from Duradovic there. Accidental, of course. Will they make the sub now? Yes, they finally do, and it's Noah Holmes.
Yeah, I think you're right on that assessment. Accidental. There was definitely the kind of upper arm to the face, but completely accidental.
And Asad Kasumovic comes straight off the ground. So Holmes goes into the middle, and Sinclair looks like he's moving to the left side. So 15 minutes left to go here at Jack Edwards Reserve. Oakleigh Cannons needing 3 goals to bring them level. A big ask even for this side of this quality. But as we said, stranger things can happen here. Boyce. First touch for Holmes. Tratt now on the left-hand side. Plays it out wide to Hampson. But getting in the way was Linus Burke. Still no substitution from Melbourne Victory.
Well, role reversal, isn't it? And maybe they're just trying to generate that consistency that's been really hard to find for them this season. And so many players coming in and out. We've talked about the goalkeeper, Sultan. It's only his 4th match of the season. Maybe just keeping things steady is the recipe to see out this game.
Hampson playing it short into Guest. Playing the 1-2. Hampson now goes low. And it'll be a corner here for Oakleigh. Burke that time just getting his feet mixed up. If they can hold on here, it's going to be a big, big victory here for Melbourne Victory. They break this 7-game win streak. Corner comes in, it's near post. Headed away by Wall. Kept in. Holmes. Free header. Boyce follows up. Lazareski. McGill. Abani just sends it into the main stand. Quickly taken. They want to get things going here, Oakleigh.
The convenience of when a throw-in goes out near the 4th official.
Sinclair that time, dropping deep now. Holmes. Oh, it's a good ball. Juratovic now lines it up, takes a deflection off the post. That was inches close. And offside flag is raised.
Yeah, Alex Salmon, hands up in a little bit of confusement. Hard to know when the shot comes off the post like that. They're throwing what they've got. Alex are the Oakleigh Cannons, but with just around 13 minutes left to go in regulation time, obviously the gap is severe. As we see, Melbourne Victory are preparing their first change of the match. It's going to be James Lakai coming on for Patrick Wall. And it appears that Jordan Hoey is going to be making his way across to the right wing. And we'll see as he comes on, but potentially Lakai just dropping on this left wing.
So first sub there for Melbourne Victory. Just over 12 minutes left to go plus stoppage time. If they can hold on, it's a big, big victory. They break the 7-game, but Juratovic now. He shoots and just couldn't keep it down.
Yep. And it's unfortunately it's been the story this last 15 minutes. And I think Melbourne Victory, they were absolutely under the pump for the first 15 minutes of this second half, but they feel like they've got their grips on this game with that 5th goal.
Sultan to bring it back into play here. Lazareski flicked it on. Trying to win the header again. McGill goes forward. Abani sends it back where it came from. Hampson. Boyce. McGill. Good work from Abani. Wins it back. Plays it back. Cleared upfield. Lazarevsky getting manhandled there. Referee plays it on Holmes. Oh. Salmon that time looked like he was offside. And it's going to be a Melbourne Victory throw.
Yeah, and just a little bit of a poor turnover. I think they can feel, the Oakleigh players, that the life is kind of fading out of this game. The damage has been done in that first half. And as much as Sinclair is trying as he will, the tired legs in the final 10 minutes of a game of football. Well, we say tired, of course. We've commented they didn't have a game last week, but they've been well and truly stunned here, Oakleigh.
McGill skips away. Tratt trying to get something going, the big centre back. He finds Sinclair. Lovely ball up the line to Salmon. And it'll be another corner here for Oakleigh Cannons. 10 minutes left to go.
And it's been a real criticism of this Melbourne Victory side in recent weeks, Alex. They're defending off set pieces. And obviously, you put the first one to the side just a little bit. It's kind of different to what we're talking about here. But the volume of corners and free kicks that Oakleigh have had late on in this game is significant. And so far, they have dealt with them well.
Valid points there from Lucky Avil. Cross comes in. Punched away by Sultan. Cleared. Oakleigh have the numbers. Boyce sends it upfield, but half the Oakleigh forward line was offside.
Cam McGill wasn't, and he knew it. And again, they just had to be aware, Melbourne Victory, as it appears their second substitution of the match is being ready. Tommaso Minatoli as they look first to break forward. Here's the substitute. Lakai cutting inside. He's got a little bit of space, bringing out right to Hoey. And they'll settle to recycle possession, Will Victory. But that's a great turn through midfield. Distribution. And they look like they're just happy, a little bit of content just to sit with the ball deep.
That's headed back to Hart. So they'll be counting down the minutes very eagerly. Oakleigh Cannons, they just want this game to end as soon as possible, move on to next week. That week off has not done them any wonders. They face St Albans next week, while Melbourne Victory have Port Melbourne. It's McGill now. Playing it back to Boyce. Tratt.
And all of a sudden, Alex, that St Albans game, in their heads of the Oakleigh players, it must feel like a little bit of a banana skin. They would have felt so comfortable usually.
There was a good flick on there, but Salmon just hit the back of his heel.
But after a game like this, going down to someone already in the relegation zone, of course, St Albans will be there as of the result of this game tonight. You can't feel tremendously positive about that matchup.
Well, St Albans, you mentioned, are playing Avondale tomorrow, so you know you've just got to back yourself in. Anything can happen in football as the cross comes in. Sultan punches it away again. Oh, it's a poor clearance that time. And Sultan just has to clear the line, and that's just the inexperience there showing.
Again, yeah, not striking too much confidence into the heart of his defenders. There's a little bit of confusion with the assistant referee here. It appears the ball has actually gone out for a corner rather than a throw-in. So Oakleigh will have a chance to reset for another set piece.
So quickly.
Again, taken quickly. Ball in from Duradovic. The header falls to feet. Again, it's McGill on the edge of the box. Finds his room, but blocked away from Victory.
Oh, they're chasing hard now. They can find numbers here. Harides now, can he get there? Hart comes out. Good work. He had to come out.
And for all the peculiarities of this game, Harides in the heart of midfield for Melbourne Victory has been a constant throughout. Really impressive tonight.
Oakleigh now pushing, trying to get a third here. Maybe close that gap. Hampson. Not offside. Play on is a call. Hampson now. Good defending. And it's going to be another corner here. And Tommaso Minatoli's been waiting a couple of minutes now just to get back on. But it's very similar to the Oakleigh sub.
Yeah, made to wait again. I think there was some half shouts of handball in there just as the ball going to the byline. Look, I think we're at that point now. Natural position. I think everyone kind of understands that. Waved away straight away by Ross Clark.
Corner comes in, into the hot spot, punched away by Sultan. And it's a free kick. And they can take a bit of time off the clock and make that substitution. So Tommaso Minatoli coming on, and coming off will be number 11, Daniel Lazarevski. So like for like change there. Lazarevski had a really good game getting that goal.
And as much as the opener from Harides was the surprise goal that broke open in this match, the long-range effort from Lazarevski in the 7th minute was the one where Victory really said they were here to play, and credit to him. He's been outstanding tonight.
Sultan to bring it back in, but straight to McGill. High ball in the air. He'll get it back again. Thinks one over the top. Offside flag is raised. 5 minutes to go here. Can Melbourne Victory hold on for a very, very big win here and break their 7-game losing streak? More importantly, getting him out of that relegation battle.
Absolutely. It will bring them up to 15 points. 2 clear as we stand ahead of St Albans in 12th, just 1 point behind South Melbourne, who will also play on Sunday against Preston Lions. A massive game for those two clubs.
Guess now over the top. Juratovic can't get there in time.
This season has thrown a lot of twists and turns at us so far, Alex, and none more so exemplified than in this game tonight.
Just goes to show you, you need to turn up. Doesn't matter where you are on the ladder. You've got to turn up. Otherwise, teams will tear you apart. And that one's cleared wide by Bozanovsky. Brought back in, McGill, Boyce. Tratt. Oh, left it late, Tratt there. McGill now. Trying to get something going here in the middle as we're 3 minutes to go. Hampson out wide. Back to McGill. Lovely 1-2 play, but not on the same page. Victory clear. Trapp brings it down. Might fancy himself here. Probably not the best of crosses. Holmes shields the ball well. Back to Trapp. This time went low. Smart play. Guest goes out wide to Hampson. Cuts back in. Twisting and turning now. Cross comes in. Oh, it's over the top there from Sultan. And they get a corner.
Yeah, again, slightly a heart-in-mouth moment as Sultan struggles to remove his boots from the netting behind him. I wonder, Alex, what are we rating the Melbourne Victory defensive resilience? Because they've kind of just gone with the option of scoring more.
Oh, I think it's we'll answer that one. The back. Tratt heads it down. It's a hot ball there. Eventually cleared. Brought down by Minatoli now. Just got to hold it up here. And it'll be an Oakleigh throw. I think you've got to give them an 8 out of 10. I think they've been really good. A couple of times a little bit clumsy in possession, but given the inexperience of the side, I think they've been rock solid when it mattered. That's why I give them 8. What do you give them, Lockie?
Yeah, I'm probably not quite as generous. Maybe a 6 or a 7 just in there, like we've seen in these last few moments as the ball goes out for another Oakleigh throw. Just a little bit of heart-in-mouth moments here or there. Just keep a quick eye on Sultan as well. I reckon he caught a stray boot off a defensive clearance to his hand there. He seems to be going at it a little bit. But the fact that they put 5 on the board has kind of done that job for them. In this kind of game, you're up against a really, really good team in Oakleigh. You want to kind of avoid, conceding 2 goals as well. But the fact that they've had this margin has given them that breathing room.
Looks like it's going to be another substitution here. I think there might be 4 minutes of that a time. Sultan brings it back into play. McGill with the header. Brought down by Salmon. Over the top, Juratovic. And not going to give a penalty there. Good work that time from Williams. Shrugs off a challenge, sends it upfield.
All right, a 7 after that.
7.
Good defending.
It'll go up again, I think, as long as they don't concede. McGill now. Oakleigh just need to go forward at every chance they get. Good work that time. It'll be 4 minutes of that a time. Late challenge there from Holmes. And that's going to go into the books.
Yeah, no surprises there. Breaking down the attacking play, Melbourne Victory is the substitute. Noah Holmes picking up his warning and on his way.
38 and 44, which is Noah Tanfara. And coming off is Alexander Huridis. So good work there from the youngster. Real solid performance by him.
Yeah, really solid tonight.
So in the first minute of stoppage time, out of the 4, can Victory hold on here? Mihalides launches it into the box. It's too straight. Hart grabs it. He's looking to release it. Eventually gets us back underway. Sinclair plays it down the line to Guest. Holmes. Wanting offside. Cross comes in. It's too straight. Straight into the hands of Sultan.
Yep, couple of minutes to go now, probably around that 3 mark. And Melbourne Victory will see this one out for what will be a pretty inspiring win, you have to think. As the substitute has been on the field for about 10 minutes, Minatoli. Obviously, Victory not committing so many numbers forward. He's left to do most of his work alone. As Oakleigh will persevere into the final moments of this match, but the result is all but secure. Melbourne Victory are going to pick up a massive 3 points for their season, lift themselves out of the relegation zone, and obviously, Alex, a lot of our conversation about Oakleigh has been how they're managing that chase from Hume behind and keeping that gap intact, but you're looking upwards as well. You've got the likes of Heidelberg United, who have claimed victory tonight and now 10 points ahead of them with not too many weeks left to play. You're thinking about trying to win a Premier's Plate, trying to qualify for the Australian Championship later on this year, and those hopes are just running out for Oakleigh.
Well, as we said, they've got St Albans, and then the week after, they got Preston Lions, and then after that, they've got Dandenong Thunder, so it's a big couple of weeks now. As Victory, can they get one last goal here? Cross comes in. No one there at the end of it. It was a good opportunity from Lackey.
Well, it was an extraordinary run down the left byline. The Oakleigh were statues as the ball crossed across them, but as you can understand, the Melbourne Victory it's not required to get too many numbers forward into the box at this point in time when the ball goes by.
McGill has been good since he's come on. He's worked hard trying to get him back into the game, as has Guest. Kept in, Hampson. Final minute left to go here at Jack Edwards Reserves. It's going to be a big victory for the boys, for Melbourne Victory. Cross comes in, headed away. Is there one last chance here? Oh, almost got on the end of it. Juratovic playing the 1-2. McGill trying to create some space. Cross comes in, dealt with. They get it back again. Juratovic. Back to McGill. Was looking for the through ball, but in the end, Victory able to clear.
And to be fair to the Victory defence, one reason why they were getting cut apart so much in the first 15 minutes of this half, that area between the midfield and defensive lines, Oakleigh were just cutting through, and they have actually compacted that space a lot more. So it's a good adjustment they've made.
It's a good ball across. Finds Salmon. And just got hurt in that challenge there. Got to play on now. And the full-time whistle sounds here. And it's Melbourne Victory who take it out 5-2 in an unbelievable win there. And Lockie, talk us through it. How did you see that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's an astounding match of football. The first half pretty much goes beyond any reasonable level of analysis. It was Harides and Lazarevsky in the first 10 minutes to open the scoring. Burke made it 3-0, and then from there the game was just into a world that we don't quite often see. A special win for Melbourne Victory, climbs them out of the relegation zone, and unfortunately for Oakleigh, they have to go into the sheds and get themselves ready for next week.
On behalf of the team here, Lockie Avila and myself, Alex Sivkorowski, we thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoy that game of football. Plenty of football still left to come this weekend. Make sure you stay tuned to our socials. Thanks for watching.